hello! We are going to be playing a brand new mod. And by brand new, I think it's like 2 weeks old at this point, something like that. We're playing Pax Britannica, which is like an alternate history, kind of steampunk. There's like some weird like biological experiments going on as well. I'm not 100% too sure of the backstory of the lore, but it came out just a few weeks ago. It's like the very first release of it. So there's only 3 countries that we can actually play in the mod. We can play as Britain, we can play as France, or we can play as United Kingdom, Germany. And we were going for a Germany playthrough first. I do not be surprised if we end up playing all 3 of these countries back to back, though. Like, I can definitely see that happening. But the mod seems like it's very interesting, so we'll jump straight into Germany here. And hopefully the title song's not copyrighted, but that's fine. The United Kingdom of Germany got some unique features. Unite Europa under one banner, manage the state of federalization, continue to fight in exile, maintain Germany's vast empire, become a continental European hegemon, set Germany on a path for economic greatness. I mean, it already looks like it's going pretty well. But the situation in Germany. The German Empire is a permanent colonial continental power in Europe in 1933. Emerging from their defeat in the First Franco-German War, the Holy Roman Empire found itself in a state of flux. Racked by the liberal revolutions following the French Reformation, many within the empire's Habsburg hegemon feared a complete dissolution. Others, however, like Emperor Francis II, saw the defeat as an opportunity. The people of Germany had been defeated once, but they would never be defeated again. This began a period of wars known as the Wars of Consolidation. Either through agreement of arms, Austria and her allies began an arduous process of centralizing and reforming the empire. This period of conflict would come to a head with the Austro-Prussian War. Offering territorial concession of Poland and Russia to Russia in exchange for their assistance, Austria invaded and strangled the nascent Prussian superpower in the Carib. With the back of the Hohenzollern's broken, Austria turned their attention east to Alsace-Lorraine. The Second Franco-German War saw the Germans avenge their defeat in 1797. In a lavish ceremony in Versailles, Franz Joseph I was crowned as the first Kaiser of the German Empire. This state of affairs proved too much for Austria's own constituencies in Hungary and Illyria, who demanded self-determination from the new German states. The 1870 Ausschlag Treaty saw Hungary gain independence in all but name, while Asturia's southern Slavic provinces were reorganized into the Dirnik Federation as the dominion of Germany. This state of affairs proved unsustainable, and with the outbreak of the Great War, as Germany fought brutal trench warfare across Flanders and Wallonia, their Hungarian allies collapsed into revolution, while the Dirnik Federation broke free from the fervor of Slavic ultranationalism that has gripped the Balkans. Though their victor in the war, Germany decisively lost a peace. The long depression, the post-war collapse of European economies, fermented political unrest of all kinds. Germany's former Russian ally had gone sour and blamed the German hegemon for the post-war decline. Even worse, a resurgent and revanchist French state, seemingly on a collision course for a war once more. Only Iron and Blood will see Germany through these dark days. And special thanks to all the mod makers. I will turn this off. I'm going to turn down the audio a little bit. And then I'm just going to turn on my fan quickly. That's how every stream starts, is I got to turn on my fan because I always forget to do it. So, we'll look into a little mechanics and stuff. I close all this. I think because I have the colored button mod, these are not the little unique portraits that we can see over here. But yeah, so we're Germany right now. We have 266 convoys. We have okay fuel, 110 factories. Seems pretty good. It is 1933. 72% stability. I have a feeling that's not going to last for too long, but we'll find out. And we have 35% war support. Enough dead horses for the end times, negative 50%. Okay. Is that good or bad? I don't know if that's good or bad. So we got national spirits. Consumer goods, 20%. Construction speed, stable. Production efficiency caps, negative 15. And factory outputs, negative 20. Very cool. Followed up with libertine culture. Population doesn't really mean too much to me. The 10% stability I like, and I'm happy with the research speed as well. Negative 25% political power gain because there's a deadlock in parliament. Significant political violence. Our armies are bad. Well, they're not terrible, but they're worse than they could otherwise be. Division recovery rate negative, minus 10%. War support negative 50%. And then you are negative 5% consumer goods for demanding stuff from the Qing. Seems good so far. How many troops do we have? We got 45 divisions. 26 infantry, 6 panzers. Some colonial garrisons, some cavalry divisions. We got automatrons. Okay, we can look at the automatrons afterwards, because there's some stuff going on in the tech tree that I kind of would like to explore. Yeah, so I get these 2 armies. But we should have a few more troops. Yes, okay, they're down here. Assign you to purple. We will assign you guys in Africa, assign you to blue. What do I want these guys to be? I'm assuming probably the French border would make sense. Let's go 1 on the French border. And here's the thing, like, because I've never played this mod before. I haven't even, like, done any experimenting in the mod, so I don't really know how the flow of the game is going to go. So I put 1 on France. I'm going to put 1 army right now. I'm going to actually split you in half. 1 army on Prussia, 1 army on Russia. To me, that seems like it makes sense. Get some commanders in here. 3-2-2-2 is okay. Get you in charge. Put you in charge. And we'll put you in charge next. So what do we want to research? We have 4 tech slots. So we have our basic, you know, infantry support. I don't think there's anything really too different here. We got MREs, rations. I'm assuming this is just things we need to build for all of our troops. Basic stimulant manufacturing, division speed. Okay, so this has like a, you get like a little bonus. Experience gain minus 5%, resistance growth speed negative 5%. So it's got like positives and negatives assigned to it, which I think is quite interesting. Euro 34 tech. Well, let's go to our research, go to our industry. What we have there? We have our basic research plus 2%. This I think is literally the exact same. Actually, ooh, it actually has the old decryption and encryption. Interesting. Then we have atomic weapons 37, rocketry 37. So the fact that it starts in 37 to me means that we're probably going to start the Second World War, which I'm assuming is what the game's going to be building up to. A little bit earlier, probably around 37. And we also have terror weapons. Terror weapons are now available. It takes about a year of research. We'll worry about that afterwards. You are exactly the same, so we'll go with both of you. And then we have 1 extra slot available. We could immediately go for biohazard weapons, but I think we can avoid that for now. We also got lightweight teleforce engines in 35, which gives you access to some UFOs, more UFOs, tactical bombers, heavyweight teleforce engine. Okay, so what is that, like a fish? That's a blimp with 2 separate blimps on it. Excellent. Naval tree is, I think, literally exactly the same. Augments. So we can, like, turn people into... We can turn cattle into whatever the hell this thing is. Razor maidens. Hard suits. We got our basic artillery stuff. And we also got automechs. Which I think, if I remember correctly, yeah, they actually do have their own little model here, which is nice. So you're all 33 as well. I mean, there's still tanks. But they're not mechs. I mean, mechs are pretty cool. Light duopod, tripod, quadpod. I mean, how do you compare to each other? 'Cause I don't know how to compare you. I'm guessing just the more legs, the more powerful they are. Okay, no, they all have the same model. Defense 655, 40 breakthrough, 1925. So yeah, it's basically just like big, medium, small. 14 production costs. I mean, they're expensive. Actually, you're the exact same cost as you. And I think you might just be better. Okay, you cost a stupid amount of fuel. A little bit less piercing. And actually, you have less hard and soft attack, but you got a good breakthrough. You know, let's take the tripod. We'll go middle of the ground on here. And we'll kind of see how they even work. So what are we building right now? We do have a few slots open, so we will go for convoys. And because it looks like the naval staff has not changed at all, we're just going to go straight into submarines and just like build a ton of them. That usually works out pretty well. So we got trains, tactical bombers, Great War fighters, motorized equipment. We are building the Great War automaton. We're getting rations. How many? Okay, I want to know how many rations do our infantry need to have? 675. Right now we have 51. We're getting 52 a day. I have a feeling like rations are... I mean, how many do we get? We get yeah, 52 a day is not bad. I do have a feeling though that rations are going to become an issue the further along we get in this. Hold artillery. I'm going to take 1 off you. 2 off you. Put 2 more on the mechs. Honestly, give me 2 more on rations, because I'm a little bit scared we won't have enough of those. And what? We're getting tactical bombers, Great War fighters. Interwar armored cars. Heavy tanks. Give me close air support. Well, close air support like this. I think that seems decent for now. Civilian factories. Do we have anything new in here? Infrastructure, airbase, anti-air radar station, civilian arms. I don't. You're different. This building improves the food situation surrounding states, requiring some weekly manpower for upkeep. Provides 3 food, and it looks like it takes 0% population. I don't know if that's exactly correct. Synthetic mineral fabricator. You give us +2 metal. Medical facilities, which are less manpower, less supplies. And I'm guessing this is in this state. It's in. You seem kind of bad. We get the Tesla Tower. 2% to local factories. You're connected to the global wireless network, a system designed to allow for easy accessible wireless power. So I'm guessing you just make all factories 2% better? And you're actually just research speed. You know what? That's interesting. It's very interesting that you can just upgrade research speed by building buildings. 20,000, I think, is too expensive. We're never going to build any of these, but it's a neat idea for sure. 3,000 naval base, land, fort, supply, hub, coastal fort. Okay, and you're all the exact same. So we got a couple of new things in here, which I think is nice. I mean, let's see. Because you're just in the state it's in. So, I mean, if you had, like, let's say 9 out of 10 factories in Saxony, for example, and then you were just to build the Tesla Tower, probably would be nice. But you know what? We're 41. We actually don't have that many civilian factories. You know what? Give me some civilian factories in the Rhineland over here. I think that seems okay. Decisions available. We will go. You know, I will not take the Army Navy experience just because this might break the game. Just do some events. We're not going to do that yet. So what do we got over here? State of the Federation. Please select a state. Concession. I mean, everybody seems like they're okay. Okay, they're not okay. In order to pass the uniform reforms, maintain stability, unrest in major kingdoms might be kept below 50%. 1550. So let's say everything's at 15. You're all affecting stability by -2. No, you're not unrest 25. But they just gotta stay below 50. How much political power are we gaining? 1.04, and that's without selecting a national focus. Okay, so that's terrible for us. Yeah, no, that's bad. Political power seems like it's going to be an issue. Okay, so let's just ignore you for now. Domestic affairs. Pro-jingoism. Purge political enemies. I mean, 10% political power gain in 1 factory for about a month for a free civilian. That's pretty good, actually. I mean, it's pretty expensive. It is 100 political power. But I mean, 100 political power for a civilian factory, I think... Definitely late game. I think this will be more useful once we've already exhausted all of our political power options. Actually, we should look at our political power stuff to see if there's anything new in there we would like to take. Managing the military. We are currently 0% modernized. Okay, excellent. If I click you, manpower -5, political power gain goes down. Excellent. But I mean, it says we can press the button even though we're at 0. Well, it'll take us to -10. Army experience gain -10%. Okay, will not let me click the button. Okay. Fair enough. To give you a different color button when you can press it? Maybe. Or it's not showing up properly. That's also quite possible. So we got laws in the government, cabinet. Can we switch cabinet members out? No, we cannot. Policies, economic policies, social development, technological teams. Okay, so there's like a lot of shit here. Also turn off state transfer tool. Thank you. We also are missing a little bit of rubber. We can get that. Do we have any subjects that trade it? Yes, we do. The Central Africa. And are we in a faction? No. Is there any factions in the world? We got the Imperial Powers and the Pax Revanchiste. And also the United Arab Emirates. Okay. So let's take a quick look around the world. I know we are... I think at this point we're like 15 minutes into the video. That's going to be on YouTube and we haven't gotten it. Like, we haven't even pressed unpause yet. We got the Great Qing over here. We got Korea. We got communist Japan over here. I mean, the British do have a lot of control. Like, the British are doing very, very well for themselves. Who are you? New Holland. The Republic of Australia. Not too sure who you are. Maybe Germany? I actually don't know who you're an offshoot of. Do you tell me? No, it does not. Okay. And then we also got areas that have never been colonized. Oh, there's us. You know, they might have been an offshoot of our colonies there. More British territories. Africa is mostly split between me and the Germans. I remember by me and the British, I should say. Portugal's got a decent plot of land here as well. It looks like South Africa is... Yeah. South Africa is still Dutch in this timeline. Brazil is completely shattered apart. We got Grand Colombia, they're at war with revolutionary Ecuador. Argentina. So nothing too different down there. Rio Grande, Texas. In this timeline, the United States never became independent, so they are still a British puppet state. A lot of Western America is not colonized at all. I'm assuming these areas will be getting colonized either through war or by events. We'll kind of have to wait and see on that one, though. And Russia. Are you Russian? No, you're British. But you're still Russian. Okay. And I think for the most part... Also, for some reason, this is just a ocean tile. I'm not really too sure what happened in this timeline that caused this to happen. But it's there. Okay, so I think we're probably good. We're good to unpause now. After probably like a full episode's length. Also, not training any units. Oh yeah, we're not playing Kaiserreich. We can have an infinite number of divisions. I mean, you're 18 combat with right now. 600,000 manpower. Making 26 guns a day. You know, I think I prefer... Oh, you know, army experience. Right. I did not press the button. Let us... Just do 6 for now. And the Kaiser's New Year address. As the new year begins, celebrations throughout Germany have begun to peter out. Early in the morning, Kaiser Rudolf II appeared before the gathered crowd of Frankfurt to deliver his New Year's address. His speech contained little in terms of tangible promises to the people, keeping in line with his general apolitical stance. But of particular note was his consistent reference to the need for a more modern leadership in the empire. These cues, coupled with the Kaiser's general withdrawal from public life, has led to concerns about the nobility of weakness. Though the Kaiser has rebuffed any concern from his advisors to the contrary, it has become something of an open secret that the Kaiser has sought retirement from his position for some time. Kaiser's retreat from publicity has led to greater indirect power being vested in the hands of the autonomous kingdoms, with King Rupert of Bavaria supposedly mocking the Kaiser as feminine and weak, focusing more on his family life. Regardless, the government does not run on rumors, and Chancellor Stresemann believes he can finally push reform plan through the Bundestag this year. Where's our capital? Our capital's not... Our capital's in Frankfurt. Okay. Also, this mod has like a unique map mod where it doesn't actually show the terrain. Kind of like more of an old school Paradox map that way. Even some civilian factories around here as well. No template. For anti-air and Great War Automatot. Okay, well, I do think at this point we're probably safe taking Army and Navy experience. There we go, take that. I mean, political power minus 10 is not good. Also, do I not have a national focus? No, I do not. Okay, excellent. So it means I can actually take some of these without too much issue. And bread riots in the Rhineland. Political violence is not unheard of in Germany, and almost a decade of economic downturn has led to many instances of rioting. In Koblenz, however, a series of bread riots rapidly got out of control, leading to nearly 25 deaths and dozens injured. Relief efforts in the Rhineland have been ongoing for the last year due to crop failures, and the region continues to suffer from one of the nation's higher poverty rates. According to witnesses, bread being distributed in the poorer neighborhoods of Koblenz escalated into violence when bread supplies began to run out. After being denied their ration, reportedly several men assaulted the relief workers were being shot by the police. In the ensuing chaos, 4 police officers were tackled and beaten, while relief offices were ransacked. Minister President Goebbels has sent a furious letter to the office of Frankfurt demanding deployment of the National Guard to Koblenz. Unrest. We lose a little bit probably for the liberals. We spend 50 political power. Okay, what is our political stance right now? We're currently led by the liberals and the state socialist. And a coalition party. It looks like the NDV is currently banned. And what is unrest in the Rhineland right now? It's in U, and then we have to go up here. The Rhineland currently is at 20. We need to keep them below 50. But can I afford 50 political power? Like that's. I actually don't think we can. It's actually, I think, a little bit too much. Hello, Templin Senator. The French Republic has fallen. French troops in Lorraine. The French armies entered the militarized region of Lorraine and are closing in on our common border. Displaying breach of the peace treaties after the war deserve retaliation. However, it seems like our former allies do not care enough about this issue to threaten France. It would seem like we would be alone. Furthermore, even though people do not seem eager to renew tensions with France over this issue, the people want solutions to their current well-being and not another unnecessary bloody war. Maybe we should let this pass. The French state is in no position anyway to attack us. Okay, so we're just going to lose 25 political power anyways. Thank you. Okay, so France, they are neo-imperialist. They're ultra-nationalist. I mean, their symbol is a Molotov cocktail, a gas mask, barbed wire, and sandbags, and they've got a pretty fashy-looking flag. We might have to worry about them at some point in the future. But for now, just draw an offensive line into the country. Also, I think we do have fog of war turned on. There we go. And we'll just prepare for the worst. The Kaiser calls on Stresemann. Stresemann met with the Kaiser earlier this morning over lunch and returned to his office visibly shaken. When questioned, he stated that the Kaiser confided in him that he planned to abdicate the throne. According to the Chancellor, the Kaiser was open to the stress of rule, and advancing age has begun to severely affect his health. His statements are not without merit. Stresemann stated as the Kaiser had been hospitalized in 1930 following a bout of pneumonia. Though this incident was largely kept out of the papers, the event had made His Majesty acutely aware of his mortality. Though there is no legitimate concerns regarding succession, Stresemann believes that the abdication is exactly the kind of chaotic mess we can't afford right now. You and Navy think cat in water. I'm gonna assume that is a playful. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't like Navy's bad. Okay, so the Alsace National Unity Party. So the Alsace National Unity Party, founded in 1925 after the ultra-nationalist coup in France, been making moves throughout the province to organize anti-German resistance. The group, being led by Henry Barbe, is generally known for their vocal and militant demands for the return of Alsace to the French state. These same notable stances are what led to the party to being banned by the German government. Driven underground, the ALNU has become akin to a terrorist organization. It's no one's secret that their funding comes from the French state, and they have used this funding to launch bombing and assassinations across Alsace in an effort to turn public opinion against the German government. Okay, so more political power loss. Very cool. And what are you? You're just about this. I mean, they actually have less unrest in the Rhineland, so maybe it's not that big of a deal. But Kaiser Rudolf abdicates the throne. When the news reached the people, most did not know how to respond. Confused, sad, fearful of the future. When was the last time a Kaiser abdicated? Did it ever happen? Now the people were remembering one important detail surrounding all this. The Kaiser had only one heir, his daughter Elizabeth Marie. A woman, after 250 years, a woman once again come to bear the title of Kaiser. However, everyone knew she did not become the next Maria Theresa. While personal friends often gave her a nickname of Rizi, public and especially her greatest doubters called her the Red Princess. Elizabeth made some years ago publicly that she believes in the values of socialism, peace, and unity. Despite being forbidden to join a party, she has several contacts and friends in the Labour Party, and she herself organized food banks for poor people during the Depression. Despite protests of several politicians, Rudolf insisted that she would succeed him as Kaiserin. And so, when all of Germans were able to see the coronation of new Kaiserin on television, it was not unfounded to say that they had the same thoughts in these moments. What will happen now? A woman? You out of your goddamn mind? Okay, the abdication crisis. Are any of you French? No. Linguists? You know what? You're pretty okay. Have you go spy in Paris, because I don't trust the French for one single second. And are any of you available? No, still not quite yet. We're also at negative 27 political power. Classic. The royal marriage of Edward VIII. Dignitaries across Europe arrived in London today to celebrate the royal marriage of King Emperor Edward VIII to Helen von Hohenzollern, one of the silver princesses of Prussia. Helen's marriage to the British king further cements the tie between the British royal family and Germany. While not a member of Germany's ruling royal family, the Habsburgs, Helen's descendants from the Hohenzollern family of Brandenburg, Prussia, is no less prestigious. More importantly, the Hohenzollern Protestantism is much less of a barrier to a royal marriage than the Catholic Habsburgs. Okay, so apparently we are on friendly terms with the British. I'm happy with that. I mean, the British do a pretty big empire. Also, there's a civil war going on in Spain right now. We got the King of Italy against the Italian Social Revolutionary Front, who also is national syndicalist. They're also neo-imperialist. So I'm guessing that you are probably more likely to align yourself with the... I mean, you're both the same ideology. And you both got similar kind of design flags. How are you feeling about it? I'm basically good now. Stresemann resigns. The government falls. Gov Stresemann has given the new Kaiserin his appeal to resign from duties of Chancellor. With political terrorism rising, the economic depression is still ongoing, and all the drama around the Kaiserin, Gustav has determined that he will not be the right man for the job anymore. With Stresemann's resignation, it's clear that other liberal ministers would leave as well. The coalition between the SP and the UDP would be no more. Despite this, Elizabeth has decided to accept Stresemann's resignation, while more political turmoil and elections are not a thing the nation needs right now. Kaiserin thinks Germany needs a new government to change the rusty gears it has been running on for a long time now. Frank Blucher has been made temporarily to take over chancellorship, and Liebig, Müller, and Klutz have agreed to maintain their ministry positions until the next government has been voted into power. One reason I was actually delaying even starting this game was because I knew it had more events, and unlike Kaiserreich, I know a lot of the lore in Kaiserreich, and for most part we don't really need to read the events. It's also another reason that we kind of been replaying Countries of Kaiserreich while I was sick. But this is it's a new mod, new lore that I really don't know anything about, and I knew there was going to be a decent amount of reading in it, so now that I'm not coughing every 5 seconds, this makes sense that we play this now. So election scheduled. With the fall of the government, new election is scheduled so that people can decide a new government. In approximately 1 month, the election will be held throughout the United Kingdom of Germany. We thought that the victory of the Great War, our nation's golden age, would finally begin. However, nothing like this has truly happened. In the last decade, the nation experienced a long economic depression, resulting in large parts of the population being dragged down suddenly into poverty. Our relationship with our old allies has stagnated. Britain turned their focus on their colonies, and Russia began subjugating their own people and see us increasingly as a rival. Our vision for a peaceful Europe where cooperation and unity could shine has broken down almost immediately due to the uncaring and self-centered politicians. In truth, the last years have been nothing than stagnation. We'll be using the NMECA things and the amalgamates in the research tab. I would like to, yes. We're getting our basic text first, but then I want to try to do all the weird shit. The German people want change. They want to bring Germany back to greatness. May it be exploiting the true potential of this nation industry, the re-establishment of a European alliance, the normalization of political stability, or to have a nation capable of being ready to defend its nation against the growing dark clouds of Europe. Okay, so elections are next. How long until our things here are done? We got 15 days on Tripod 1. I mean, we are building some of you guys. We have 21. This is a terrible division. Okay, let's duplicate you quickly. And you use light